Students need access, students need quality, and students need equity for them in order for them to be able to have what I call a successful educational career that would then prepare them for whatever they decide to do once they graduate high school. I have a high school senior right now, and because of my husband and my efforts in making sure that she gets a quality education, we feel that she will be prepared. She is not lacking or deficient in any areas. As far as she is at or above her reading level, at or above her math level. She speaks very well. She comprehends. I mean, she's filling out college applications on her own. I also have 4 little ones at home, 3 first graders and a 3rd grader. And 3 of the 4 children we are fostering, and unfortunately their early childhood development that wasn't really well established. But once they came into our care, we've made sure that they're getting as many supports and that they are, that they deserve, to get them at the levels where they need to be so that they can continue on each grade and be at or above grade level. How I define quality education is making sure that, as I stated, that our children are proficient, that they understand concepts, that they are able to read and you start to use their thinking and questioning. No child is exactly the same. This is not a cookie cutter format, but for me, a quality education is where their educators understand and get to know the needs of the child. And part of that is also getting to know the family or caretaker or home environment of the children. Because if educators don't really understand their students and their students' families, if they don't take the time to get to know, they're really not going to understand why a child may be falling behind, or why a child is falling asleep in class, or why a child may be exhibiting certain behavioral issues. Without open communication with the families and guardians of their students, teachers are not only going to know part of that child, and being that they are with our children the longest part of their educational career, they're with them the longest part of the day. It's incumbent for them to make sure, especially school leaders and administrators in school districts, that they make sure that they also train our educators to understand the importance of engaging families regarding their students. It's important that administrators and school leaders and districts also make sure that they make sure that the resources are available to get whatever the children need in the school. And to be able to facilitate that, they have to ask the parents and caregivers, what will your child need to succeed, to have a good experience in school? I'm very vocal. I am one of the, I'm happy that I'm very vocal. I am a person that if I have a concern or a question, I make sure that I ask the questions. I demand transparency. I make sure that there's a conversation had where I see there's an area of concern. I do not like being told after the fact or last minute if one of my children is struggling or needed some kind of help. And I'm open to that communication. I expect the same from my children's schools, their educators, their school leaders as well, because no one wants to have a child go through their educational experience and just be pushed through. If there is an area where a child is having difficulties, we have to work together to make sure we help that child overcome that obstacle so they can be successful.